to Humble and Hungry. Here on Humble and Hungry, I aim to explore small, intentional things we can do to lead happier and healthier lives. I'm calling this my season 2 of Humble and Hungry after a brief summer break. And I hope you're all doing well and are excited to be here because I have a lot of content coming up. We have been enjoying our summer. We've been doing lots of family stuff, lots of great activities around Buffalo, and even growing my next little family member here who will be joining us in December. So there's a lot I want to talk about, but I thought I'd get started today by talking about body image. Here on Humble and Hungry, we really cover everything from weight loss to your own wellness journeys. I've shared my infertility story and journey through motherhood. And of course, now I'm going for round 2, so I have a lot to say and to talk about. So I'm excited to kick this today off with something that really threads through all of these different categories, which is body image and the way we talk to ourselves and the way we understand that relationship. So there are really small things we can do to feel a lot better about ourselves in the bodies that we are in. Today I'm welcoming Tabitha Sweeney to Humble and Hungry. Tabitha is a fitness instructor turned body image consultant. Tabitha runs really great programs where she brings women together to talk about their body image and why they set the fitness and wellness goals that they set and how their purpose for doing this can really help them on their journeys. So Tabitha's going to join us to talk about this and also to talk about ways we can take action right now to feel better about ourselves. So let's get right to it and invite Tabitha Sweeney here to Humble and Hungry. Hi, and I'd like to welcome Tabitha Sweeney as my next guest here on Humble and Hungry. Tabitha, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Emily. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to have you because let me tell you all a little bit about Tabitha. She's a mindset coach who really serves as a body image consultant. And I thought her work applied so much to what I try to share with you on Humble and Hungry. So I was just so thrilled you were willing to join us. Can you tell us a little bit about your work and your journey to getting to the work you do now?
Yes. So I kind of have a crazy story. I have been in the fitness industry for over a decade, and I started my journey as a personal trainer. As most of them do, as most of us do, right? Like I didn't realize like I had a great body and I loved being in the gym. I lived there. I spent 6 hours a week on weekends meal prepping and was like, I don't know why people don't like to do this. And then I got pregnant, and then I became a mom, and my whole life changed. And I was like, oh, this is why when people said they couldn't make it to 5 a.m. class because their kid was up sick all night, and I was like, so you're awake? Now I understand why they couldn't come. But as I got pregnant, my entire body changed. And then I had some very serious postpartum, and I was extremely humbled into learning that my body image was directly related to what I felt my self-worth was. And I didn't even know it. So as I spent my time unlearning and kind of unraveling where I was going, I set out to create a space for moms that was safe and that didn't have goals. That wasn't like, you have to do this. There was no rules. The entire gist of it was to help moms feel better and alleviate the mom guilt, because moms have enough guilt in their life. They don't need anyone else helping them add to the plate. And so that was a family-friendly fitness studio. And I applied all of the same philosophies. And we did workouts, and the moms brought their kids. And then basically what happened during COVID was most of my girls did not love Zooming workouts at home with their toddlers. So instead, we were all craving connection. We would get online and we would start talking. And that's kind of how my coaching programs had started. It's the same exact thing I've been coaching
I think.
Love it.
Oh, Tabitha?
Yes. Did I freeze?
Oh, you froze for just a minute. It's okay. It's okay. So you were saying how it got you in, or it's exactly what you were coaching in the studio, but doing it.
So it was exactly as I was coaching in the studio, but now we started doing it virtually and without exercise. And I realized that, which we've all known, mindset is so important to meeting your goals and determining your goals, right? Like we've all set out to lose 10 pounds. And if your mind is not on board, you're not going to do any of it, regardless of whether or not you know what to do. Because let's face it, we all know what to do. Like, that's
right.
So what I did was I realized that this connection, this mindset coaching was serving such a greater purpose, and it was helping empower women. And as they got comfortable with who they were, the whole premise behind it is the fact that I want you to love yourself today as you are. I want you to accept yourself as you are today and start living your life. And then whatever, great. If you gain weight, who cares? But I want you to get in the pictures with your kids. I want you to go to the beach and go in the water. I want you to live, and I want you to accept yourself as you are right now, because waiting to lose 10 pounds to decide you're good enough is silly.
Sure. And have a lot of women had success in your group so far?
So much success. And it's been so eye-opening, because what started as just body image what I learned was that once you accept yourself, now you have a voice for the rest of your life, which I set out just to help women decide they like themselves. And what I found was all of a sudden women were like drawing boundaries at work and no longer standing to be a punching bag and standing up for themselves and putting themselves before their kids or their husband, or like saying, these are my needs and they deserve to be met. And for some reason, I didn't even see that as an outcome. And it has been incredible to watch the transformation of women taking charge of their mental health, their physical health, their complete being, so that they can better serve their family and loved ones.
It's amazing how being intentional about like one or two things translates like all over the place. And when I can totally understand, like your model makes so much sense. Women give each other so much like energy and give each other so much, like, I guess, confidence, that it seems like the perfect space for moms. So thank you for the work you do. It's important.
I enjoy it. And it's not just for moms. It is for all women. Every woman deserves to know that she is worthy.
Right. So, okay. I'd like my audience to learn a little bit about how they can take these actions and do this work. When I was going through your website, which I'll share here on my YouTube page and on my Instagram, one of your blogs was 5 ways to start loving your body. It was like 5 ways you can now start loving your body. So I thought it might be fun to go through those. If you don't mind, we can run through those so our viewers can kind of have something to take away and something to try. So does that work for you?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's dig in.
All right. So 5 ways to start loving your body right now. So the first thing that you can do to start loving your body right now as it is to get up in front of the mirror and say something nice about yourself, right? Like, instead of picking yourself apart, which we are all conditioned to do, to get up and stand in front of the mirror and be like, oh, do you see this roll? Oh, look at the bags under my eyes today. Like, get up and be like, thank you, universe, because these legs right here, they are nice and strong and they carry me everywhere I need them to take me today. Compliment your skin. Compliment what you physically see, not just the things that are like, I have a great personality. Like, name some actual physical things. The second thing I want you to do, second thing I want you to do something nice for your body and change your relationship, is to change the internal narrative. So if you start really paying attention to the way you talk to yourself, you're going to notice how many of your thoughts start with a negative. So I want you to flip it. I want you to change it. I want you to make them into positives, to say nice things to you and about you, and especially about your physical body. Because we often, the first things we think of and the first things we say about our body is things like, oh, we run in, this is the perfect example. We run into somebody at the store we haven't seen in a year. And the first thing we say is, you look so great. I know I've gained 10 pounds.
Right.
Stop saying that.
Right.
Right? Like, just don't bring those things up. The next thing I want you to focus on is I want you to make a timeline. I want you to think about the things your body has actually been through. Car accidents, traumas. Childbirth is trauma. Pregnancy is trauma. Especially if you are a mother who has suffered with infertility, any of those terrible misfortunes, your body has gone through trauma. Do you have any, rheumatoid arthritis, any hormone imbalances, any of those diseases that are invisible? Make a timeline, because we forget what our body has been through.
Oh, yeah.
And it deserves to be recognized, and it deserves to be patted on the back because it's still here.
Yep.
The last thing is, the fourth thing I want you to think about is I want you to make a list of all of the things you miss out in your life because of your body. How many pool parties do you say no to because you don't want to be seen in the bathing suit? Do your kids have pictures of you? Do your kids have pictures of you that if something happened to you today, would you leave them with something?
Right.
We miss out on so much of our daily life because we're embarrassed of our body. We don't get a second chance. So make a list of what you're missing out on, because I bet if you start putting pen to paper, all of a sudden you're like, I want to do these things. And then the last thing I want you to do is stop comparing yourself. Talk yourself out of the comparison. So as you start to compare yourself to someone else, I want you to think, I don't know what their journey is.
Yep.
I don't know what they've been through. I don't know what their actual life looks like. When you see that woman on the beach in that perfect body, we don't know if she has an eating disorder. We don't know if she's happy. We don't know if she's spending 7 hours a day in the gym. And if she is, maybe she loves it. But is that what you want to do? So stop comparing yourself thinking that it's just easy. Those are really the biggest steps to taking charge, to changing your relationship with your body.
Great. Well, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. It seems like a common thread. It almost seems like is just like creating awareness of like the reality of all of it. Like what you're like what you said, I think it was step number 3, which is like the timeline, which I think I shared with you when we first met, that I never felt like more confident as after I had a baby, because even though I wasn't in great shape, I couldn't believe everything I had done. But I had to really think about that to feel that way, because before I thought about it that way, I was like, oh, I'm like, everything hurts and I feel gross and all these things. But it's like, well, that's a terrible thing to say to yourself,
Google what actually happens inside your body to grow that other human. Well, I mean, it is incredible. Like
every person should have to Google that.
It's incredible. And I think that is such an important thing, is the fact that the awareness, we are our body image is so conditioned and such a part of us. It's so subliminal that we're not even aware of the way we're talking to ourselves.
Right.
And if you think of how a plant, right, there has been research and studies, and I am not a scientist, so I'm not going to pull one out, but I've read them, where if you talk to the plant and you put it in the sunlight and you talk nicely to it, and it grows so much bigger than the one you ignore one shelf over. Like, if that is for a plant, what about us? Like, what could happen if we just wake up and we're like, dude, you are awesome. Like,
Absolutely.
Good job.
I have a good friend who I found was always kind of talking bad about herself. Like, she was always saying negative things about herself. So I started telling her, I'm not going to talk to you if you talk about my friends like that. Like, I don't talk to people who talk about my friends like that. And it, you know, we would laugh about it, but I also meant it. And I think it made her realize how often she did it. So I try to almost tell myself the same things. So it's a similar idea. Like,
well, because in reality, you would never, the things you say about yourself and you think about yourself, you would never say about your mother or your sister, right? Like, or your best friend. Like, you would never say those things because you would never be like, oh yeah, you know what? You shouldn't come to the beach with us because have you looked in the, like, you would never say that. You would be like, that's stupid because I want you there. You're missing out on time with me.
Right.
But
you never say it or think it.
Right.
Such a good point. Such a good point. So I know you have a 6-week program you run through your it's at Vitality Buffalo. Tell us a little bit about that, and if people want to like learn more from you or what that program is like, even tell us a little bit about that.
So my 6-week program is called Road to Body Love. And we work our way through, each week we work our way through one critical step on the timeline to repairing our relationship with ourselves. We meet on Zoom once a week for 2 hours, and everything is in small groups. So what I love about the small groups, as opposed to it just being me and you're hearing other women's stories. Like, as you go to say something, somebody else is like, oh yeah. And you'll look and you'll be like, oh, I didn't know she felt like that. Oh, I didn't know you were insecure about that. Like, because we have this idea that everyone else is so confident and they don't have these same insecurities. And the reality is almost everybody is living in the same insecurities. So it is 6 weeks. We meet on Zoom. We have a WhatsApp group chat where we all like chime in daily and hold each other accountable, making sure we're saying nice things about ourselves. And the next round actually starts September 23rd. So I am super excited. And the best part is it's virtual. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can be a part of it.
That's so nice. How many people usually participate in a group?
I try to keep the groups to 6 to 8 people because I like having, that gives everybody the chance to have a decent amount of talking time and nobody's feeling rushed.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. Well, I think that whether people are looking for a resource and something to kind of actively get involved with, they've learned something, but also people just want to like kind of reset their mind a little bit about this topic. This is all so valuable. So I really appreciate you being here. Where can people find you online if they want to learn more? If they want to like visit your Instagram, or where can people find you?
Find me, connect with me online. You can find me on Instagram at Tabitha Sweeney Coaching. You can find me on Facebook at Tabitha Sweeney Coaching. And you can also find me on my website at tabithasweeneycoaching.com.
Perfect. That'll be easy to remember. And I'm sure people will find all of this really resourceful, even if it's just something people want to get little reminders from, or like, you know, sometimes you just need a feel good moment. It's like really good, helpful resources.
Yes. And I will say, I love connecting with all of my viewers, members, people, whatever. I don't even know what they're called anymore. But I love interacting. So like, nothing makes me happier than getting an email or a message. Send me a DM. I am the one who personally responds to everything. So it's all coming directly to and from me.
Oh, that's so nice. Awesome. Well, I hope we make some more connections today. I think, my mission, is always to like find small ways to live happier and healthier. And I think that like directly aligns with what you're doing. So hopefully we're going to find some people that can, use what you do and create a happier and healthier life.
I love it. And love your mission and your goal. And I cannot wait to see what you do with all of this in the future, Emily.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Me too. I think we're both evolving, so we'll see where things go.
If you're not evolving, you're standing still. So it's a good thing to be doing.
Good point. Good point. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Tabitha, for joining me here on Humble and Hungry. It's time now for our Humble and Hungry Happy Thought. I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite quotes that relate to body image and the way we speak to ourselves and think about ourselves. So first, a quote by Sophia Bush that says, "You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously." That's something I've definitely been telling myself over the past couple of years through my own wellness journey, and I know is something I'm going to be telling myself over the coming weeks and months while I prepare to have a baby and then deal with all of the body issues that come after that. So just remember, you can be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. The final quote I'll leave you with is from British fashion model Isker Lawrence, who said, "Speak to your body in a loving way. It's the only one you've got, it's your home, and it deserves your respect." Thank you so much for joining me here on Humble and Hungry.